Everyone, Umar from Dream English, and in this particular video I am going to discuss a listening part for you. One of the specific question in the listening, and this is the fourth question type we have in the listening section, and this particular part is known as highlight correct summary. Highlight correct summary is the fourth question type you will get in your listening section. But what is the reason I'm discussing this section with you? Because this will not only give you marks in the listening, but this will also give you marks in your reading section as well. And a lot of people, they do quite a few mistakes in this particular area, and the reason they do the mistake is because they cannot differentiate between the answers. So before I proceed any further, let's have a look at how we are going to perform this task, and I will give you the best strategy ever, and that would work 99% of the time in the real exam. I'm saying 99% of the time, not 100%, but this would definitely help you to get good score in the reading and in the listening section as well. So as I said earlier, that highlight correct summary is the fourth part of your listening module, and the number of questions we are going to get is either 2 or 3 of them altogether. Before I move any further, on my laptop screen, I'm just going to show you what this task looks like. If you have a look for me on the screen, it says listening items, highlight correct summary, and then it gives you your instructions, and the instructions are: you will hear a recording, click on the paragraph that best relates to the recording, and this particular area is your audio box, and you have 4 answers given here, and there is no question. So basically, what do we have to do? When the audio begins, we have to listen to the audio and we have to give one of the response. We have to tell that which response is matching best with your audio. Now guys, so if you concentrate on the screen which you have in front of you, so when I press next and I would like to start this question, the first thing you need to do is you will get some time. You will get 10 seconds time before your recording begins. In this 10 seconds time period, what you guys have to do, you have to read your answers. And that sounds very silly. You cannot read all your answers. The reason being because all the options are very lengthy, but still in this 10 seconds time period, we cannot waste them. So instead of wasting this time, I would like you guys to read the last few words of each option. So step number 1, read last few words of each option, like option A, option B, option C, and option D. Just read last few words, and that's it. That should be more than enough. Now, as soon as your audio begins, I would like everyone, this is how I do it as well. You don't have to take any notes for this particular question type. Listen to the audio very carefully. Listen to the audio very carefully. And if you see this blue bar on your computer screen, when your recording goes towards the end, this area here, look at my mouse, this specific area here. When your recording goes here, either you can take notes or you can listen to this part extra carefully. Whatever the speaker will say at the end, it will match with one of the given answers. It will match with one of the given answers, and the end part will match. So for example, the speaker was saying something at the end, like in this particular section here. This particular section will match with either option A, option B, C, or D, but not the starting part is going to be like the similar, but the ending should be same as well. So if I give you the formula for the highlight correct summaries, the formula is match the last part of the audio to the last part of the given answers. Let's implement this strategy in few questions, and then I will demonstrate to you that how it is going to work. So without wasting time, I'm going to play an audio, and can you please focus on the audio as well, and I will show you that what the speaker said at the end and how we are going to match it with our options. So let's get started. So the audio will begin in 10 seconds, and in 10 seconds I'm just going to read my option A: working in foreign places, upsetting situations, on home, and feel he knows.
Travel challenges and offers life-changing experiences that broaden perceptions and knowledge. For me, traveling has become a lifelong quest to expand the taste memory bank, to find different interpretations of what has already been learnt and tasted, with the hope of discovering something new, combined with the constant challenge and desire to take risks and evolve. These experiences have translated directly into my work, intellectually, emotionally, and practically. I'll go anywhere where food is a celebration of everyday life, where conviviality and the pleasures of the table are cherished, and it is these places I rely on for constant and ongoing inspiration, like drawing breath. So many places, so many people, so little time, so many adventures to engage in, so much delicious food to taste, so many flavors to experiment with, so much to glean and learn. The more I see, the less I feel I know.
Now guys, have you noticed that in particular this section here, the dude, I'm not asking you to memorize everything as it is. You can't simply memorize every single word. You can either write it or you can just make the sense out of it in your mind. Now, the gentleman was talking about food and traveling, but towards the end of the conversation, he said, the more I see, the less I feel I know. So let's try to find out something similar to this. I'm not saying that you will be able to find exactly the same wording, but let's try to find out something similar to that. So option A, living and working in foreign places. So he was not talking about that. Upsetting situations. He did not talk about upsetting situations at all. Comfort of your own home. He did not mention about that towards the end. And if I read this one here, he says, ultimately the speaker thinks the more he experiences, the less he feels he knows. So that is the right answer. Because at the end he says, he said, the more I see, the less I feel I know. And option number 4 says, the more he experiences, the less he feels he knows. So it is not exactly the wording which is matching, but it is more the meaning which is going to match as well. So this is the example number 1 I have just given you. Let's move on to another example as well. So I'm going to show you example number 2. So if you look at my screen now, I have another question here for you. Suppose I have 10 seconds and in this 10 seconds time period, I have to read few words. So let's have a look. Certainly no solution yet. Turn sad stories into happy ones, depressed and helpless. And it says choosing the economy over the environment. So let's play the audio. The audio is just here. So let me have a look. All right, I would like you guys to listen to the audio carefully and then we will solve this question together as well.
It seems as though people are starting to suffer from global warming fatigue. In other words, they're tired of hearing about how our climate's changing for the worse and how we're destroying the planet with pollution. People do care, but there's a lot of talk, little action, and certainly no solution yet. The stories people see in newspapers focus on the negative. They talk about how politicians are choosing the economy over the environment, especially in these difficult economic times, and they write about people whose lives have been negatively affected by extreme climate change. Why should we spend our free time reading articles that make us feel depressed and probably quite helpless? Global warming campaigners must turn the sad stories into happy ones. They should talk about the actions that are having a positive effect on climate change, so that people become interested again and feel motivated to continue taking action.
I'll play the last part again just for you guys, just to concentrate on that specific area. So please listen again, this last part, carefully.
And probably quite helpless. Global warming campaigners must turn the sad stories into happy ones.
So global warming campaigners should turn the sad stories into the happy ones.
They should talk about the actions that are having a positive effect on climate change.
So actions that are having the positive effect on the climate change.
So that people become interested again.
So people become interested. So basically he was saying that we should turn our sad stories into the happy ones. So let's try to find out that if we can see something similar or the similar wording or the similar meaning, and then we will go from there. So let's have a look. Option number A. Certainly no solution yet. No, did not talk about that at the end. He was talking about this, but in the beginning. Global warming campaigners must therefore turn sad stories into happy ones. That's it. So have you noticed this is exactly the same thing he has said at the end. Now we will still continue reading C and D as well. Read articles that make them feel depressed and helpless. And the last one is that politicians are choosing the economy over the environment. So the best matching answer we have here is B. So B is the best matching answer. So guys, we have done 2 examples. Hopefully these examples will help you to crack this specific task in the real exam as well. I will make another video very soon in which we will discuss this particular question type in more detail. Until then, stay tuned and look after yourself. and keep practicing, because practice will make you perfect and you will get a really good score in your PTE. Thank you very much. Any questions, do let us know. Bye bye.